Last time I was talking about nervousness and anxiety in public speaking. Then I've discussed this with my students during the class. And then I've had my breakdown moment related to chronic lack of self-realization and feeling of professional dissatisfaction. Overall satisfaction with your life and professional life is very important, and the lack of it or absence of it will affect your mental condition, your mental health, and affect literally everything that you're trying to achieve and learn. Being in stress, unhappy, dissatisfied will affect your ability to speak and socialize as well, because you simply don't have a capacity in your mind to concentrate, to pay attention, to learn, and to pay attention to the details, to memorize something, to have clear vision, to be creative, and even to try to relax when you're speaking. Overall life anxiety will definitely increase your level of anxiety in public speaking. This is a lifetime process and hard self-work. How to manage your emotions and stress, how to cope with your emotions, how to clean and clear your space, capacity in your mind, how to clean the space for your growth and moving forward no matter what. I have been working on this and I have some advice for you how to start or improve your self-work in this direction. The biggest problem for me is regulating my emotions. When something is happening that really triggers me, my first reaction might be displeasure, dislike, surprise in a bad way, grudge, judge, or other destructive emotions. At the same time, I'm processing my compassion, empathy, my personality approach, and I try to comprehend what really triggers me. What are the triggers? Sometimes it's going very well, and sometimes it's already late and I already reacted not in a pleasant way. It should be something that helps you that moment, that control your first reaction, first impulse, and let your personality be shy. And it's hard. It's training and it's a lot of self-work and understanding. The biggest challenge here to make a decision on how to react. Triggers can be everywhere. Triggers will be everywhere in your life, people or situation that can trigger you, but it doesn't mean that you should react on these triggers the same way, and you should learn how to manage those reactions. Of course, it can be a huge, serious situation, tragedy. I'm not talking about this right now. I'm talking about minor triggers or social triggers or interpersonal triggers that can cause those reactions. And if you have these minor triggers and you're still reactive to it, this is the sign that you need to pay close attention to self-emotional regulation. And here is the approach, my personal approach, how to cope with emotions and stress, and my experience, my life journey. I'm asking two questions. I'm asking myself two questions. Is this about me or about others? And the second question is, what can I do to improve the situation? If the first answer is, it's not about me, people are bad. Sometimes we can meet bad people and people who don't don't understand boundaries and just act badly in a bad way. Can humiliate you, can judge you, or even do some abusive actions. And I'm trying to think objectively. If the answer for the first question, it's about them, their behavior is wrong or bad objectively, I will try to solve the situation with words, and if it's not helpful, I will take actions. Action meaning appropriate actions, how to get out of the situation that I don't like and I'm not comfortable with. But if the answer it's about me, about my insecurities, about my mood, about something that happened before and made me acting like this is the sign for self-work, self-regulation, and without involving other people in this. Being objective and empathetic, compassionate, and being able to see other people's perspective is very important. It's very important for regulating your emotions, your reactions. You need to be aware of your moments. You need to be aware of your personality. And if you feel that you lack of those qualities and those abilities, it's again training and self work. How you can manage the situation and take ownership to control the situation with understanding the real reasons. Understanding real reasons, understanding the reality and what's really happening objectively. Being realistic with your comprehension of what's happening is a great tool for your improvement and for your growth. Also, it gives you fast closure and helps you to move forward. Being fair, being realistic and fair towards yourself and others is very important. It requires managing your ego and moving towards justice, not victimizing and blaming yourself or other people. Sometimes it's very hard to be fair and to look at the situation with a cold head, but it's necessary to do so. After those questions that I asked myself, I started to understand all my thoughts, whatever thoughts coming to my mind, and choose only thoughts that can be real, helpful, or related to this particular situation. It's also a big skill because you need not to judge your thoughts immediately and asking, why am I thinking this way? And not to control your thoughts, but you need just to observe your thoughts, whatever thoughts come into your mind, and choose the most important and real for this situation. And here's a very nice tool: observing yourself and your thoughts, acknowledging that you have them. And it's normal that you have them because this is a normal human being process. Some of your thoughts are clear and real, and you can see them and you can have even evidence behind them. But some of them are making just a lot of noise in your mind, making the process of comprehending and structuring overwhelming. Usually thoughts without real evidence and proof, based on our fears, insecurities, lack of knowledge, and lack of understanding. So instead of having them as real thoughts and being threatened and intimidated by them, you can acknowledge them. Yes, you have them. You can acknowledge also the reason, the source why you have them. And until you get any proof and documentation about them, you no longer consider them as important. You don't prioritize them. The same way it works with thoughts about something that didn't happen yet. You can't give the priority for those thoughts because they are based on uncertainty, the fear of uncertainty, anxiety about the future, about something that didn't happen yet, but we already overthinking about this. It's not also the healthy way to produce our thoughts, to process our thoughts, so they cannot be prioritized. Also, this exercise of observing yourself and observing your thoughts can calm your mind, calm you, because it's literally structuring your state of mind. It's cleaning the space, it's organizing the flow of the thoughts, it makes the space for clear thoughts, and prioritizing your present, something that's happening now, and something that you have assurance about. Other thoughts are coming and going without your close attention and prioritizing them. The more you're aware of it and the more you're working on it, the more clear you have your mind and thinking process. It requires practice and it's a lifelong learning process. Threatening and intimidating thoughts can build a crazy maze of scenarios in your head that could have happened if, but you don't know about this. And you shouldn't give so much inner power because you simply don't know about this, you don't have any evidence for it, it's not the present time, you are not sure about it, and you shouldn't give away all your inner power for thoughts that are destructive, not healthy, and not fair to you and your time. Of course, you can think and assume some of the consequences, some of the steps you might do in the future and be ready for them. it's totally fine, it's okay. But you never know until you experience the moment, until you experience the situation. So for me, it's better to focus on something that you definitely know and you have power over. Other things that you cannot control can give you this anxiety, and it's very normal. This is why you can take responsibility only for your actions. And to help yourself and to reduce additional stress and to cope with your emotions, the better way is to concentrate on what you can control. This is the fastest way to solve the problem, to improve the situation, even if the problem, the reason of the problem wasn't you at all. Going through my whole life and personal and professional experience, I really understood that cultivating thousands of scenarios in my mind is distracting way of thinking for me personally, and I do believe that it will be true for many other people. So I stopped cultivating thousands of worst scenarios in my mind, and I prefer, and it's easier for me to focus on something that I definitely know, or I have assurance about, or I have truth feeling about, or I just know. I have evidence of it. If I need clarifying questions, I'm asking for this, and only after getting the answer, I can process new thoughts and new emotions in my mind. And if I have a gut feeling, we all do sometimes, and we trust our guts, we trust this gut feeling, I might think and go for investigating more to understand if it's right and real. And I'm not talking about the situation with life death choices scenario. I'm not talking about the situation where you have no time to think and you must make a decision. No, I'm talking about life casual situations, about relationship, about social interactions, about conversations, about negotiations, just casualties in our life. And regarding those casualties, you need to clarify things if you have thoughts about them. And after getting this clarification, you might process new emotions and new feelings. And after this, you might understand if your gut feeling was right or wrong. And I need to say, coping with emotions has two healthy ways to my mind. The first way we discussed already. This is questions to yourself, questions to myself. If it's about me or it's about others, what's the reason of this and how can I improve the situation? And another way of healthy coping with emotions is expressing them, letting them go, because the reason can be exhaustion, your life situation, life circumstances, failure or dissatisfaction, it doesn't matter. But your emotions need to be processed in a healthy way. And this is one of the healthiest way to share. Since you understand why you have those emotions, you let them go by crying, journaling, just being sad for a while, not being social as well. It's okay, it's normal. And this is a mechanism to prevent buckling up the negativity and unspoken emotions. Buckling up is the worst way to cope with your emotions and stress. If you need to share and need support from somebody, you need to talk to someone and to share. You need not to forget about them, you need to express them and understand and talk about them. Literally, you need to verbalize them. So personally for me, sharing is a very healthy way and is very helpful. When I share my emotions and feelings and talking to the person whose actions might be the reason for my emotional condition, it's very helpful in solving the overall problem. And this is how I help myself not to build crazy scenarios in my head, because I can share and talk, verbalize something that disturbs me, try to solve the situation in a healthy way by talking, by conversation. Letting yourself vulnerable and sharing with your feelings and emotions will help you to reduce stress. Summarizing, we have some important things to do. First, defining your triggers and those impulses that might be your first reactions. Second, asking yourself questions. Is this about me or about others? What's the reason? What can I do to improve, and what can I do in this situation? 3. Observing yourself and your thoughts exercise. 4. Being realistic, objective, and fair. Trying to cultivate those qualities, trying to make this habit, trying to be this person. Focus on things that you can control and you have assurance about. 6. Asking for clarification before you act and make decisions. 7. Sharing, not buckling up. And last thing but not least is building good relationship with yourself. The quality of those relationships will significantly improve your life, will significantly reduce life stress, anxiety, and will be the mirror for you when you project your emotions onto other people. This important topic will be in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and talk to you next time.